So today I want to talk with you about what happens when a person in your family may die. We have all experienced this unfortunate thing happening to many families as a result of COVID over the last several years. And it becomes so confusing and sometimes overwhelming at such an emotional time to know even what to do. So a lot of people ask me this question. So one of the things I tell them to do is, if you know whether or not this person had a will or a trust, any estate planning done, and they had an estate planning lawyer, consider calling that lawyer to announce to the lawyer that the person has died. Ask them if they have original will or other documents that were done, and who might be in charge if you don't know that. Many of the things that need to be done have to be done by the person that is in charge. So assuming that you are that person, after contacting the attorney, you will want to contact Social Security. Social Security is many times taken care of by a funeral director. So if you're doing a standard funeral, they notify Social Security for you. And this is going to impact what might have gone into that person's account. Same with VA benefits. Sometimes the person had VA benefits and they need to be notified because those benefits would cease. Notifying an insurance company. So if there is life insurance, we want to have that life insurance paid, and it will be paid to the beneficiaries of the life insurance policy, which may be different than the beneficiaries under a will. So we want to see who is it that has to fill out the paperwork and get the paperwork to fill out. Getting in touch with or getting a death certificate. That's another thing that you are going to need for any paperwork that you need to fill out. So usually the funeral director is the one who's going to order the initial batch of death certificates. Try to get at least a dozen death certificates depending on how many assets you have, because you may need to provide an original to each life insurance company. They may return them back to you or they may keep them, but you're going to need that in order to get the benefits transferred to the proper person. And then following the wishes of the deceased for where they want to be buried or how they want to have a service or whatever. Many times these things are written down. Sometimes they're prepaid funeral plans. Sometimes these are things that are just given to the healthcare power of attorney person who is responsible for managing that. In Illinois, our healthcare power of attorneys go beyond death just for that purpose. And that this may include a donation of organs, for instance, that happen right at death. So that person who's appointed has that responsibility. Handling bank accounts and financial assets. This is another thing that the person in charge is going to handle this. So they're going to have to know what the accounts are and what the name is on the account in order to get the proper disposition of that account. Informing the DMV is another thing, so that again we're cutting off the identity stealing that could happen as a result of a person who's died. Credit cards are another one that you want to go ahead and tell the credit card company of the person's death so that they can stop that. Many times it's a good idea to go to the credit reporting companies too to inform them of death so that they can put a hold on any future activity. So tax returns are another thing. There's a final tax return for the person when they die, and there may also be post-death returns in the form of an estate return or a trust return. So these are just a few of those items that you are going to need to do if you're the responsible person under the decedent's documents. So we have done this for years to help people out. So if you need help or you have questions, feel free to give us a call, 630-756-1160, and we'll be happy to work with you. Thanks so much.